Now, moving on to a topic we're yet to discuss on this show, the pending move to the Olympic Stadium in Stratford. Jack, from a player's point of view, was there a genuine feeling of excitement around the club? Was it something that you talked about a lot amongst the players?
Yeah, I think there was. I remember in the early stages, a lot of the team went down to see what would be happening at the stadium, and it gave the boys a real chance to get excited for it. And obviously, you look at the way West Ham are moving forward as a club this season. They've been fantastic in the league. I think to really take that next step, I think they're going to need something like that. Olympic Stadium, it gives them a great boost, a great platform to really try and push on and maybe break into the top 6.
Well, Nigel, you've had a lot of reservations about this move in the past. What's your view on it now, and what have been your main concerns going forward?
I think reservations is an understatement. My view on it now, there is nothing that I've seen that convinces me that the club had to move away to the Olympic Stadium, and there's nothing that I've seen in the layout of the Olympic Stadium that I've seen that I think it's going to be conducive to us pushing on. You could argue that Newcastle have had 50-odd thousand fans week in, week out, yet they've not broke that ceiling. Obviously, we're a London club, and perhaps that is a bit of a changer. And there's the financial implication of it. But originally, it was sold that there was a possibility, or that the tickets were going to be cheaper. Now we're seeing the tickets aren't cheaper.
Oh, really?
So
yeah.
there's a lot of things that are coming out now. The club have been very good with the drip feeding of the information and the way they've marketed it.
Well, do you not think, though, that moving to an iconic location such as the Olympic Stadium will help get better players in, better managers in the future? Jack, what do you think about that sort of thing?
I think obviously it's going to be a good opportunity for especially the foreign players looking to come over to get the chance to play at the Olympic Stadium. It's obviously going to be great. As I said, the fans obviously have got their reservations, and that's understandable. But as a player, it'd be fantastic to play at a venue like that.
Well, obviously you're on the Supporters Advisory Board, Nigel. Do you think you actually have much say in affecting the board, or is it more of a something just to keep the fans happy and give them the idea there is that communication there?
I think it was necessary under FA rules that the club had consultation. They used the Supporters Advisory Board to do that. They presented it well to the Supporters Advisory Board, and a big majority of the Supporters Advisory Board, not me, went along with it and thought it was a good idea to proceed with.
Well, Jack, going forward, do you think Sam Allardyce will be the man leading West Ham to the Olympic Stadium, or can you see a change before then?
Well, it's an interesting one. Obviously, he's out of contract, isn't he, at the end of the season?
At the end of the season.
So, well, the boys have been fantastic this year, obviously doing well in the league, still with a chance of a cup run. He's got the team back into the Premier League. You can't argue against him getting a new contract, but I know some fans might be happy to see the back of him.
Well, Nigel, would you be one of those fans?
Obviously, I would be one of those fans, yes, to argue. I'm no lover of Sam Allardyce. He has changed his football this season. Whether you believe that's a directive given to him by the owners in May or not, that there's two sides to that story. And whether we really know the truth, I'm not sure we will. But obviously the football has changed, the style of play has changed. That can be put down to the transfers. Did Sam sign the players? Did David Sullivan sign the players?
Yeah. So, not exactly sure. Well, who would you have come in then, in that case, if you didn't want Sam here next season?
Personally, I would look at it, if you take the club of West Ham, we need to be looking to bring our own players through, but it's got to be coming from the bottom upwards. If you look and mimic, say, a club like Ajax, the way they've run their system over the years, the manager controls the whole way the club is run from top to bottom. I think you would need to put a system in like that. It may take a while, it may take 4 or 5 years to bear fruit, but you need to start right through and bring someone in with their whole team to run the club from top to bottom. Whether our owners will allow that, that's another thing. But if you look at Ajax and the way they produce their players, for a club like West Ham, that's the type of thing I think we should be mimicking.
Well, what about the owners, as you just mentioned? Jack, do you feel that they have got the club's best interests in mind going forward? Because they're often maybe criticised for not really having the same vision all the fans do.
Yeah.
Put you on the spot there.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. Obviously, they're both West Ham fans, local boys, and it's a bit of a fairy tale story. Them obviously being in charge at West Ham, you can tell they care about the club and the decisions they're trying to make. Are they for the club, or are they for them, or are they for the fans? It's a tricky one, but I think what they've done since they've been in charge has been a lot of positives, and they're obviously trying to take the club forward in the best way they see possible.
Nigel, would you echo that?
Yeah, I'm quite a stubborn person, but I have actually changed my mind in regards to the owners and the way. They've not done all good things, but every owner does good things, every owner does bad things. But I think of a whole, I believe that Gold and Sullivan do have the club at heart. I'm not a great believer that they will actually take the money and run. I actually think they could be here for the long run, rather than doing that. So, and to be honest, if I had a choice between David Gold and David Sullivan and the Emir of Oman, I would have David Gold and David Sullivan all day long.
Definitely. I think one thing you can say about David Gold, he does care. He's down the training ground on a Friday before the game. He's in the change room before the game. After a game, he's in there, win, lose or draw. He's trying to keep the players going. So I think, especially with David Gold, he's definitely got the club at heart.
Yeah, some of the decisions that they do, I think what it is that it's easy to dig, especially for people like me. It's easy to have a dig at the owners with some of the decisions done, and perhaps when you look at it, they're not the people that have actually made decisions. It's the people that they've appointed to run the club that have done that, and perhaps that's the difference.
Well, let's hope they do lead us to a bright future.